All right, we're live. We'll get started here in just a second. Check. My mic was off. Winter storm warnings. We got snow flying in Chicago. There it is. At least a mix. This is going to turn to all snow, though. Your air's sinking down. It's going to turn to all snow. I feel like I need a little border right here. I feel like I'm connected to the radar. I'm going to have to do something about this. Okay. How's Cleveland? Yeah, we'll get to all that in a second. I literally just jumped on live, guys, so give me 1 second. I just hopped on here. I'm going to adjust some of my screens a little bit so we can see this a little bit better. Alrighty. Okay. Much better. Winter storm warnings for northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana, and southwestern Michigan. All right, we'll get into some of these snow totals in a second. Let me, give me 1 second. Let some people hop in the stream. We're going to go over updated snow totals. What are we thinking here? We'll get into all the good stuff. Do maybe we'll do this today. Okay, see, so this isn't showing any of my winter storm watches and stuff though, so I'm gonna have to fix. This should be showing those. Let me fix something real quick, guys. This is SPC. Yeah, I should be showing source notification bar. So we'll go to properties. If that's not going to show that, then I might just not. I might just go with my other format. Yeah, we'll just go back. We'll just go back to this, and then I'm letting some people get in here. We're going to start in just a second. Probably 60 seconds. We'll start. Okay. My son's yelling at me, so give me a second. Yellow. We're back. Oh, this is pivotal weather. Here's our snow. Let's get into all the details. Why don't we? Let's get into all the details. All right. Big low pressure system sinking in from the north right now. Bringing all this cold air in on the back side of our system. Our actual low pressure is right here, kind of moving up through Fort Wayne, Toledo, up to Cleveland. This is going to be some pretty windy conditions right now. If we actually were to look at our data overlays, meters, wind speeds, let's see what some of our winds are. And these are sustained, 15 mile per hour sustained winds through here. So probably 30 to 40 mile per hour gusting winds. Some pretty nice winds up here through portions of Illinois and Wisconsin as well. These winds are going to start moving off to the east. What are our temperatures looking like? What are our current temperatures looking like? Here we go. You are at or below freezing in Chicago, so and it's all freezing air above your head as well. So I'd expect this to all turn to snow or be snow now or turn to snow very, very soon. Detroit, it's looking like you're right around freezing as well. Let me know if you're in Detroit, if you're getting some snow there now. I think that rain might have turned into snow. Still above freezing right in here in inner New England, so we're going to wait until those temperatures drop a little bit, and then that rainfall is going to turn into snow as well. We are freezing up here. I know that because that's where I am. What's the wind chill where I am right now? It is... it feels like temperature outside my house right now is 11 degrees. All right. That's a good time. So anyways, we'll go over updated snow totals, updated forecasts, all that stuff, and then I'm going to get to answer questions. What are Chicago's max and minimum snow totals? Maximum, the NWS thinks Chicago could get 18 inches. Minimum, the NWS thinks Chicago could get 4 to 5 inches. I think it's going to be more than that, though. Here, we'll look at the latest updated snow projections from the National Weather Service. Give me a second to find them. Let's go into here. I've got a million tabs. Okay. High-end snow totals. High-end snow totals. What's the latest for Chicago? High-end 18 inches, 19 inches of snow. It's actually gone up. High-end snow totals for northwestern Indiana. We're talking about 20 inches. South Bend, 15 inches. Ice. No, we don't want that. Okay. Expected amounts. Chicago is now expected to get about 16 inches of snow. People laughed at me. People said I was... yesterday, I made a post. I made a post on X or Twitter, whatever you call it. I never had a Twitter, so I call it X. I made a post on X saying Chicago could get up to 18 inches of snow at the high end, and people said that I was lying. Well, the National Weather Service thinks you're going to get about 16 inches, so shut your dang mouth. All right, anyways, moving out to the east here. Moving up towards Erie. High expected amount, we're talking about somewhere between 4 to 8 inches. High-end amount, we're maybe a foot. We'll take a look at some of these areas. Expected amounts. Columbus, maybe 2 inches. That's gone up a little bit. Expected amounts to eastern Kentucky have gone up a little bit, 1 to 2 inches. And then through Appalachia, we're talking about 1 to 4 inches. And then up through West Virginia, looking pretty good. Somewhere between 2 to 5 out there through West Virginia, higher elevations. Syracuse, maybe 4 inches. Rochester, maybe 2 to 3 inches. Albany, high end, if you get lucky, you can maybe get a dusting, but it's looking like the snow doesn't want to, or the cold air doesn't want to make it that far out east. Still some good snow. Western Michigan, Grand Rapids, you can maybe get an inch, a little bit too far in to get that lake effect because of the way that the winds are moving. Cleveland, expected amount, about 3 to 4 inches of snow. I'll start answering some of your questions here, but this is what we're looking at. And you can clearly see the European here. Let's go into the latest HRRR model, actually, because we have our 12Z. Here's our 12Z. I want to push into Illinois. I want to push into some of these states. You guys know where you live, so look in the state. We're going to start with Wisconsin. Okay, so look at where you live. It'll probably say your snow totals. We can see down here along the southeastern coast of Wisconsin. Again, I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to answer all your questions. Southeastern coast of Wisconsin, we're talking about 3 to 4 inches expected. HRRR 12K, this is our best short-range model. Sorry, I'm talking fast. All right, let's push down into Illinois. There you go. HRRR isn't being as aggressive as the National Weather Service, but it's still thinking 6 to 9 inches, 7 to 10 inches in Chicago. Northeastern Illinois, we're still liking in this region somewhere between 3 to 8 inches. Okay, northwestern or north central northwestern Indiana, we're still thinking somewhere between 3 inches to a foot. Southwestern Michigan, the HRRR is being extremely aggressive, trying to put a foot there. Pushing over towards, we can push over a little bit farther over towards Indiana. Expected snow totals, they're expecting at least an inch across the entire state, except for maybe the southern portion. Ohio thinks the entire state's going to see snow, at least a dusting. But a little bit better up there in northwestern Ohio and northeastern Ohio. Moving up to Michigan again, let me just go over this, then I'll answer all your guys' questions. This is the HRRR. It's our best short-range snow model. So western coast of Michigan, we're looking like somewhere between 5 to 10 inches as long as you're pushed up against the west there. And then let's push over to Ohio specifically. Here's our Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia totals in there. So, and then we'll move over to Pennsylvania so you guys can see this. Not expecting any down in southeastern PA, but, you know, Pittsburgh could see a dusting to 2 inches. It really depends. And then I'm just going to go up to the northeast in general. Let's go here. Northeast. Some pretty good snowfall up there through inner New England. All right. Again, NWS. Anyone have any questions about how much snow is expected or the high end amount in their areas? I'll go over this real quick, and then we'll start doing some other coverage. Yeehaw! Ride 'em, cowboy. Thanks, Casey, for the 2 cowboy hats. I appreciate the 9 followers. That was quick. Casey with 283 roses. Holy smokes. Confused on T-Swizzle. What's going on? Shout out, Casey. Thank you. Chicago, please. Yeah, Chicago, the expected amounts somewhere between 15 to 18 inches now. Let me show you guys something real quick. I made a comment. Now, I made a comment and I posted this. Okay? By the way, if you guys, I post 3 to 4 times all the latest snow total projections, winter outlooks, all updates, severe weather on my X. So if you guys do want to follow someone who's constantly posting weather updates on X, it's Climate Corner HQ. Climate Corner HQ. I've really just started. I posted this the other day and it got like, whatever. A ton of views. Finally got me some followers because I've been posting for Ghosts on X for a while. I've had no followers on X and I've been posting 4 to 5 times a day. But you just got to grind. Anyways, if you guys want to follow that, Climate Corner HQ on X. I posted this and I was talking about, hey guys, we could get 18 inches into Chicago. But I said, on the high end, I said, not very likely to happen. So maybe don't dust off your snowblowers just yet. Turns out we might see some good snow accumulation in Chicago. So we'll have to see about that. Did you see CSU for next Saturday? It has an enhanced risk for severe weather. Let me check that out. What's going on, Matthew? Shout out to Mesomat. If you guys like this type of coverage and stuff, Mesomat, MESOMATT. Follow him on YouTube and TikTok. He does full coverage of everything. So yeah, he's my boy. Show him some love. Okay, let me look into CSU severe. Okay, I have to pull up my Discord because CSU is messing around again. But I did put holy crap, Mezzo with the Galaxy. I love you. I appreciate you. Going into my Discord, you can join my Discord too if you want. It's Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Anyways, you know, you got to plug everything. Here we go. CSU, I have CSU updates in here. So let's look. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Look at next Saturday. Oh my gosh. We already have an enhanced risk up through portions of Missouri, eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, eastern. Wow, look at that. Can you guys see that right there? This upcoming Saturday. That's very early for CSU to do that. So let's watch that. That could be a big severe weather outbreak. All right. Let's close out of this. And let's get back to answering some questions. The clouds are moving into Indy. Yep, there you go. Let me know when some snow starts falling. Emmanuel, you could. Are you in my Discord? Hop in the Discord. You could also put some pictures in there if you get some snow falling. Mezzo, I love you. Burke, North Carolina, snow chances. Where is Burke, North Carolina? That's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. Like, where is it? I guess I'll take some time and do this. But if you could tell me South Central, Southwestern, like, or around a bigger city, then I don't have to take a bunch of time away from stream to look up these places. I know a lot of places, but I don't know everywhere. Am I spelling that right? Burke, North Carolina. Okay, well, Burke, Burke, where was it? All right, I'm spelling it wrong. I can't find it, so we'll go back to that. That's why sometimes if it's a smaller city, just tell me the region or area of the state, and it's much easier. Burke County? Okay. Okay. I lived in North Carolina, but I don't know where Burke County is. Okay. So foothills. West Central foothills. That's what I would call it if I was saying it and I wanted a quick answer. So we're up here. Yeah, I mean, some snow is going to try to make it across the mountains. You could have a dusting to an inch out there in Burke County. I was actually looking at the let's go to HRR real quick. This was a very interesting development this morning. If we go to our HRR 3K into our 12Z precipitation, and let's move down into the southeast. Here we go. Now watch what happens. Look at this spin. Matt, are you still in here? Remember I told you about this? Look at this spin on the HRR. Look, you see that? There it is. There's what we were seeing. There's what we were seeing on our 850, 925 millibar level. You start to get this little snow tropical storm. But it doesn't have a ton of moisture, but it's spinning there and then hitting the mountains, and look what's happening. Now we're actually seeing snow get onto the other side of the mountains. This would just be a dusting for the Carolinas, though, east of the Appalachian Range or Virginia. I mean, it's trying to put a good amount of snow northeastern North Carolina. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit too warm, but yep, you got your own little surface low moving across down into the southeast there, which is interesting. Yeah. It has a nice Vort Max around the low. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We were seeing that showing up on the 925, 850 millibar temperature layers, but we weren't really seeing that represented on the future reflectivity, but now we are. Woohoo, a chance for flakes in Raleigh. Yeah, I would say so. I would say there's a chance for flakes in Raleigh with that. Rapid City got a little bit of snow yesterday. Nice. Someone asked about Morgantown. Is that Indiana? Put the state, because a lot of states have duplicate names. Well, most states do. I feel like that's Indiana. Or are we talking about Ohio? Because see, if I'm trying to answer questions quickly, but I can't. You got it. I don't know. I need to know a state. There's a Morgantown in every single state in the U.S. Pennsylvania has a Morgantown. Ohio has a Morgantown. Indiana has a Morgantown. So, Orland Park, Illinois. I know that's up here in the Chicago region, right? So here's your snow totals up here. We're talking about potentially up to 60. Matt, did you see the expected in Chicago now? 16 inches. We're talking about out here near Lake Michigan. We could see anywhere between 6 to 16 inches. Gainsborough, Tennessee. Let's take a look. Gainsborough, Tennessee. See, I would say just east of Nashville. I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to look that up for you. Probably a dusting. We're expecting a dusting out there. I mean, nothing to a dusting. You might get lucky if you get a dusting based on at least this. High end thinks maybe you guys get up to an inch. I don't think so. I think if you get a dusting, you'll be lucky out there. Cleveland, Ohio. Expected amount now is around 3 inches. High end. National Weather Service is thinking you can get up to 8 inches. West Chester, Ohio. Can't find it. Just tell me where it is, what part of the state it's in. Like, listen, if you're like located around, like if you're located here, say Columbus, because it's not going to make a difference on your snow totals. I know where Dayton, Ohio is. There it is. Yeah, 6 inches on the high end. Expected total for Dayton, though, is closer to 1. So don't get your hopes up too much. Marissa, what's going on? Buffalo, New York. Expected total around 1 to 2 inches. On the high end, it thinks you could get up to 11. That's a pretty big swing, but you're going to get some accumulated snow. Erie, PA, yeah. Erie, PA on the high end. Erie, PA expected could be anywhere between 4 to 7 inches. And on the high end, it thinks you could get up to 9 or 10 inches. New Mexico? You guys getting snow down there? I don't think you're getting any snow down there right now. Bring the snow southeast of Missouri. I don't think it's going to make it down there. Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids expect it's about an inch, but on the high end, it does think Grand Rapids could get 5 to 6 inches. But although your snow's already starting to move, well, it's going to be moving a little bit more as we get that northwesterly, westerly flow. Do you think Indianapolis can overperform nothing crazy 2 inches? Yeah, it could. It could. I mean, with about an inch expected, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 2 inches. It really just depends on if you get a nice band set up over you, Emmanuel. Do I think they'll close school in Charlotte on Tuesday? It's possible for temperatures because it's rarely that cold. I think we may have a record low high down there. Actually, let me see if I can confirm that. You guys want to see some records that are going to be set here? Take a look at some records that are about to be set. So here we go. This is on Monday. These are all record low highs. The high in Atlanta, Georgia on Monday is 41 degrees in early to mid-November. Record if that's what we see. Along the Gulf, your temperatures almost don't get out of the 40s right here in early to mid-November. These are all records that are circled. Record low high temperatures and out here. Now watch as we get into Tuesday. The entire state of Florida is in a record down here, central to southern Florida. We may not see the state of Florida hit 70 degrees in November 11th. We may see the entire state below 60 or in the 60s and below. That doesn't happen. This would shatter records down in Florida. And then you see some more records continue out here through the Carolinas. I mean, we're maybe not getting out of the 40s along the coast in early November. So lots of records being set. We can also look at record minimums, minimum lows. Look at these record minimum lows. 9 degrees up in Appalachia. Look at these lows. We're getting into the 20s. This isn't wind chill along the Gulf, November 11th. We're getting into the mid 40s in Miami. I mean, look at these record lows. This is impressive. We're at freezing around Central Florida to Tampa. These are all records. So, burr. Westchester, Ohio is in Butler. I don't know where Butler County is. I don't live in Ohio, but I can spell it correctly now. Yeah, there's a Westchester. That's the problem. There's a Westchester in every state. Pennsylvania. Out here in Southwestern. Okay, so Cincinnati. Just say Cincinnati next time, and we wouldn't have to do that whole thing. So, look, this whole area is expected the same. Expected amounts about an inch. High end, though, maybe you guys get a little bit more. You guys have a pretty drastic difference between expected and high end. NWS gives you almost 4 inches or almost 5 inches on the high end if you get lucky with some of that banding. So, what's Columbus, Ohio snowfall? Columbus, Ohio expected snowfall is about 2 inches on the high end. They think you guys could get around 4 inches. Yeah. How about Wisconsin? Hopefully the Florida warmth moves north then. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. There's going to be a little bit of a warm up as we get into the middle of next week, though. We're just moving through the states pretty quick. Appreciate my mods being in here pretty early. Actually, guys, give me 1 second. We're going to continue to go over expected and high-end snow totals. Here's our storm right now, by the way, and I know there's a lot going on this map, but I want to be able to show you the temperatures as well. If you're in the blues temperatures, you're probably cold enough for snow. All the greens out ahead of it, you're probably not. So, you know, right now it's looking like... That's not what I wanted to do. Right now we're looking like... You know... If you're north of that line, most of your stuff's going to be snow, because sometimes you can be below freezing at the surface and still be getting rain and mix and sleet. But because of how this snow event is unfolding, where we have collapsing, oh my gosh, where we have collapsing air from the north, collapsing cold air from the north, our mid and upper levels of the atmosphere are below freezing. Sometimes right in these areas where the actual low is, you may get some warm air kind of pushed into the mid layers, but everything back here is below freezing at this point. Yeah, give me 1 second. We're going to continue to go over this stuff, guys. I'm actually going to pull up try to pull up some cams for you so we can actually see where the snow is falling in some of these major cities. One second, guys. 1 second. Just answering a text. Oh my god, my kids are screaming. 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Okay. All right. Do you want to come say hi to stream real quick? Okay, come here. All right, my son's gonna say hi real quick, and then we're gonna continue. Come on. Oh, you coming in? Come on. Go say hi to stream.
Say hi.
No, you don't have to say the say hi part. Say, wait, go. Hi, stream.
Hi.
Okay. Okay. Daddy will be out soon. You're famous. All right. I appreciate the new 30 new followers. Wow. How does Lake Effect Snow go down all the way to Columbus, Ohio? How far can Lake Effect Snow go? Typically, it doesn't go down that far. We just have a very powerful upper level low. And this early in the season, when the waters are still much warmer than they will be later in the season, there's a lot more. And the difference between the cold air that's moving across the surface of this water right now, the gradient is so steep because this is such an early season kind of Arctic blast. So the larger the gradient between, the larger the temperature difference between the temperature of the water and the temperature of the air that's moving above it, the more snow you get, the more moisture you get up into the atmosphere. So this early in the season, when you have this type of air moving over the Great Lakes, it can really turn into a system that moves down to the south, where typically as you get later into winter, you can get a ton of lake effect snow that kind of funnels in close to the lake, but you're not going to really get like a mini snowstorm moving down to the southeast. It's just such a difference with like this freezing air moving over the lakes right now it's creating a lot of energy. Northwest Indiana specifically, Valles Barbaro. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. I always try to pronounce it. I know where you guys are. I see that all the time. I'll cheat though. Oh god, I missed it. Valparaiso. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna make much of a difference where I look up there. Yeah, expected amounts up there are around 9 to 12 inches on the high end. It thinks you guys could get 2 feet of snow. Imagine that, right? Someone said Fort Drum, New York. There you guys are, up there near Watertown. Oh, you guys get a lot of snow, don't you? You guys get a lot of snow up there. High end, it thinks you could get up to a foot. Expect it's closer to 3 to 5 inches. Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York, we're thinking 1 to 3 inches. And then the high end, the NWS is thinking about maybe even a foot on the high end. But I don't think it's going to get that high. 10 inches on the high end. A few on the low end. A few on the expected. Valpo for short. It can go up to 100 miles inland. Well, it can go farther than that, I think, Emmanuel. if you have a kind of surface low that's pulling the moisture into it. Killer, I appreciate you. House. Wait, check the Philippines. I'm just covering the U.S. right now. Chicago, yeah, we've been going over that a lot. The high end, they're thinking Chicago could get 19 inches, but they expect it. They're thinking 16 inches now. Chicago's interesting. Let's pull up a cam, okay? This is all going to be pretty much snow funneling in now. Let's pull up a cam in Chicago if we can right now. Let's see what's actually happening there. Let me actually go to a better radar here as well so we can really see what's happening. Look at Chicago. Look at this snow that's about to move into Chicago. This is pure snow. Okay? Chicago, get ready for heavy snow. And I'm going to show you. Let's do Chicago cams. Yeah, Chicago could be about to get some really, really nice snow. Are these live cams? Okay, it is bright outside there. I was like, it's not bright outside there, but yeah, there's some flakes flying right now. Where is this? Illinois. I don't know where this is, but here you go. We've got some flakes flying in. This is in Illinois, northeastern Illinois. You got snow falling. You got some snow up here. This snow's about to get much heavier than this, guys. I'll tell you that. And I'll show you. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Snow's about to get much heavier than this. I'm going to show you some other cameras. Just out to the northwest of Chicago, the snow's really starting to fall. Look at what's happening out here. Heavy snow. But here, let me get you some better cameras. Chicago, and we're gonna keep going over all the other places. I just want to show you some of these. Yeah, you can see the snow starting to layer up. Okay, this one. Some of these cameras are all blurry. I want to give you a good shot here. Some good snow in Michigan. I'm trying to get the best camera I can set up here. Chicago rooftop here. Interesting. You can actually see the snow flying through here. But this is what? From Access Experience Center in Chicago, Illinois. You can see the snow coming down there, but their camera's really blurry. This is all going to enhance, though. This is all going to enhance. There you go. You can see the snow flying in this one as well. It's kind of hard to see, but this is all going to pick up. Chicago snow is going to pick up in about an hour or less. You're going to see a lot of snow falling. You can see the snow all over the building tops. Don't worry. This is not the heaviest snow is yet to come, and it's not too far away. We're going to get some heavy snow, I think, for a few hours and starting in maybe about 45 minutes in Chicago. But your snow is already starting. It's not rain anymore. And I'm annoyed because I moved to Minneapolis and I was excited to be in a city that gets like more, a ton of snow, and you guys are going to get more snow than me now. So, yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed. You guys are going to get snow earlier than us. Anyways, anyone else have questions about how much snow they could see from this? Justine Beef, I appreciate you. I might put a little cam actually down one of these corners so you guys can see that. That's what I'll do on this. Columbus, Ohio. Again, Columbus, Ohio, the expected amount's about 1 inch to 2 inches, although they think on the high end you guys could get up to 4. Could I do Troy, New York? Sure. Well, let's go back up to, we'll do Troy, New York. Let's see. Troy. Where are you guys? Troy, New York. Albany's not expected to get much. Albany's not expected to get much. Again, in this situation, I wouldn't ask for Troy, New York. I would say Albany, because I would not have had to look up Troy, New York if you just had to said Albany. And the difference of snow between Troy and Albany is going to be practically nothing, or it's impossible to forecast the difference between those two areas. So if you're near a major city, just say the major city in forecasting, unless you're 5 miles out of a major city and you're 1,000 feet up, it's not going to make a difference in your forecast. Troy, and I only say that because I want to be able to answer questions as quickly as I can. Yeah, Albany is expected to, Albany on the high end, you guys could get about 1 inch. That includes Troy. You can see there's really not much of a difference on the forecast. And that's on the high end. You could get a dusting low end, high end, maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch if you're lucky. It's going to be tough, though. Johnson City, Tennessee. Are you guys out east? Because if you're not, it's going to be tough. Johnson City, Tennessee. You guys are up there towards the northeast, so... interesting enough, there's a winter storm warning down to your southwest in Gatlinburg. So yeah, Johnson City. Oh, you're just out to the west of Boone too. Hey, man, you could see a little bit of snow out there. Let's go back here. Johnson City. Johnson City. Expected total 1 inch. High end, it thinks Johnson City could see up to between 3 and 4 inches if you get the high end total. Oh. We got to refresh the page. Bowling Green, Kentucky. 1 second, guys. My son wants cheddar bunnies. That's why he's crying. You know, two-year-old problems. Taz, I appreciate you. Bella, I appreciate you. Cinder, I appreciate you guys. That's true. Okay, sorry. Should I take the under in the Chicago Bears game then if they're going to get heavy snow? Who's Chicago playing? Who the Bears playing today? I'll tell you. Wait. Bears. Who's Chicago playing today? Chicago's playing the Giants. And if it's in Chicago, I would take Chicago. They're more used to playing in the snow, right? Chicago Stadium's outside, right? It is. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's an advantage to the Bears. 10 more minutes and I'm watching the Colts, and don't forget to like the stream. thanks for giving the reminder, Emmanuel. I always appreciate you. Washington D.C. Alexandria, guys, look at the high end now from the National Weather Service. They're thinking we could get a dusting of snow out here through Richmond, down to Norfolk, down into South Central Virginia, up towards up through portions of Delaware. I mean, they're thinking on the high end some of these areas could receive half an inch of snow out there. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe even out towards Harrisburg, but we'll see. I think I think you could get a dusting all the way out towards Charlotte and up towards Greensboro and Winston-Salem if some of that snow gets across the mountain. Hello from Austin, Texas. What's going on? What is going on? Bowling Green, Kentucky. High end, they're thinking you could get a half inch to an inch. Low end, you might not see any. I think you'll see some flurries, though. Some snow flying through the air. Courtney, I appreciate you. Cats, I appreciate you. Mish. Hope everyone's having a good day. $51 new followers there. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the follows and the gifts and just the engagement, helping out my algorithm. Again, if you're new here, I post videos every single day, typically before 7 or 7:30 a.m. every morning, and I live stream every single day. I've got a Discord in the description link of all my YouTube videos and my lives. If you want to join the Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ, the link's right there in my description on all of my YouTube videos. Great weather community, lots of weather enthusiasts, tons of great weather information that's updated every single day there as well. So, what is Virginia looking like this year? Well, Virginia, listen, I'm expecting 1 or 2 big nor'easters this year. I don't think Virginia's going to see a lot of snowstorms this year. I think you're going to see 1 or 2 big snowstorms this year. So the frequency of snow, I think, is going to be down, but I think your actual totals across portions of Virginia, snow totals could be up. Bella, Dustin, I appreciate you guys. Teresa. Killer Cats. Let's see here. Cleveland. What are we thinking out there in Cleveland? On the high end, we could get about 8 inches. On the low end, we could get about 2 to 3. That's the latest from the National Weather Service. Quickly, because I do like doing some Outlook type stuff. I want to show you guys something here. Take a look at our European weeklies. You know, some of you might want to know what Thanksgiving in December could look like. Interesting what's going on here. Let's go out to North America. Watch this. Watch what happens as we push through here. This is on the European Weekly, so the confidence goes down a little bit farther out. Watch what happens as we get into early December. Significant troughing out east, okay? Around Thanksgiving, the Euro's thinking maybe we have a little bit of a warm-up. Mid-November through Thanksgiving, maybe a little bit of a warm-up out east, maybe a little bit of a cool-down out west, so maybe a transition in what's been going on here over the next 2 weeks. But then watch as we get in early December. Cold, continued cold out east with Alaskan ridging, Greenland blocking. This is also going to be poking at the tropospheric and stratospheric polar vortex. That's going to destabilize it. We could have a very, very cold December and January for many across the states west to the East Coast. I think it'll favor east, but it could be for a lot of people. And this is an extremely confident cold signal in mid-December. This is why I keep saying, especially with the blocking, We could have 1 or 2 big nor'easters this year. I think people are going to get snow on the ground out east a lot earlier than they typically see it. I think it's going to be a very cold upfront winter for the east. The Europeans continuing to show that. So I think that's an interesting signal. And I've already talked about this a lot, but if we do go up into our stratosphere, here we go, northern hemisphere. Look at this buildup. Let's go actually back to look at this buildup of heat and the heights. This would be a huge polar vortex breakdown in late November, which would lead to a lot of cold air sinking first, second week of December. So very, very cold upfront winter it's looking like for the States. Favoring the East, but we could get the West involved with that cold air as well. I talk about that in my videos every morning, though, with the updates with that type of stuff. If you like that stuff, that's what I'm here for. Let's see. Can we look at the possible rain for Arizona next week? Oh, yeah, we can. And it's going to be a decent amount. Let me switch up some things here real quick. Let's go back to here. Forecast. That's not what I want. Observations. Where? Oh, here we go. We'll go here. Check it out. Check it out. We have a severe thunderstorm warning somewhere. Florida. All right. That is your 6 to 10 day precipitation forecast. All right. Lots of moisture for the west. This is going to be above average temperature moisture, though. So a little bit of snow for the mountains, but low elevation, this is pretty much all rain. Now, as we get out towards the 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook, some of this out west might be snow for low elevations. Some, because we do expect some troughing down here around this time frame between November 16th and November 22nd. So maybe you get some snow out with this. Above average precipitation really for the next 2 weeks out there. Below average. Average to below average out east. Clarksville, Tennessee. You guys are right near Nashville too, aren't you? Yeah, you're up to the northwest. Even on the high end, you're not expected to see any snow here. But we'll have some other opportunities early in the season, I think. Snow for Wisconsin. Look, on the high end, you could get a ton of snow along the coast here if a band sets up good. Inland, just a dusting. Expected amount, really just a dusting until we get down just to the south of Milwaukee where we could get some good snow down here, right around the Kenosha region. So Long Island can see some snow early. I think it will. Is it going to snow in Virginia Beach? Yeah, there's a little bit of an opportunity here. You know, look, they have the high end out here on Virginia Beach getting a dusting. Don't expect much, but there's a chance. It's saying a dusting to ½ an inch if things go your way. And I was talking about that too when we were looking at the HRRR reflectivity out here. Watch what happens. Let me go down to your region here. Give me a second. So watch what happens here. As we're looking out east, is this the 12Z? This should go out a little bit farther. But some of this back end moisture tries to turn to snow. This has it down in the Carolinas, but this could be actually up in Virginia. So interesting. There's a chance. I wouldn't expect much, but there's a little bit of a chance, which would be pretty impressive for this early in the season. One second, guys. One second. Is it going to snow in Long Island? Not with this. Kentucky, yeah. I mean, look at the high end for Kentucky. High end's looking pretty nice for Kentucky. Lexington, high end, 4 inches. Frankfurt, 4 inches. Louisville, 4, 3.5, 4 inches. Expected amounts are a little bit lower, though. Louisville to Lexington, 1 to 2 inches. Expect it. Maybe a tiny bit less. South Carolina, nothing with this storm. Again, I do expect some early season snow for people out east, though. Maybe even in the southeast if we get that negative NAO holding through December. When I think East Tennessee is going to get snow, or like in and around Georgia. Yeah, there's a chance you get a little dusting out here in East Tennessee and Northern Georgia here. I don't expect it with the storm though, but December is a really good opportunity, especially mid-December is a really good opportunity for snow a little bit farther south and out towards the coast than we usually see. West Virginia high-end totals, we're seeing 4 to 15 or 5 to 15 inches. The higher up elevation you are, closer to the 15 inches. The lower you are, closer to the 4 inches. Expected totals, we're seeing more an inch up to 7. Again, the higher you are, closer to the 7 inches. The lower you are in elevation, closer to the 1 inch. Middle Tennessee, not really expected to see any snow. I mean, on the high end, you could get a dusting through Murfreesboro and down towards Chattanooga, but not really expected to see much. Yeah, Chicago expected amount now is up to 16 inches. This is the National Weather Service, not me telling you this. The high end amount, they still think Chicago could get almost 20 inches of snow, which is wild. So Long Island can see some snow early. Yeah, 100%. Is there a chance for Jersey to see some flurries like Central Jersey? There's a chance with this, but not very likely. But we'll have another setup for you in a couple weeks, it looks like here, which is another early season setup. Knoxville, yeah, Knoxville high-end amount thinks you could get a half-inch expected amount. You're expected to get a dusting down there in Knoxville. Yeah, on the high end, they think Chicago could get 20 inches of snow. I know, it's pretty crazy. Or 19.2, about almost 20 inches of snow on the high end. They expect Chicago to get around 15, depending on where you are, 15 to 16 inches of snow, which is pretty crazy. That's the National Weather Service. Berea, Kentucky. Okay, so again in this, okay, so just southeast of Lexington. All right. Yeah, you guys are expected to get about 1 inch to 2 inches. On the high end, it thinks you guys could get maybe up to 3. Madison, Wisconsin, you guys aren't really expected to get much. I mean, high end, you could get a dusting, expected amount. Yeah, a dusting is what it looks like for you guys, if anything. With this one, we'll have more opportunities coming up here, though. 20 inches of snow would be like the snow of 1967, that snow. And there's one that absolutely buried Chicago in burbs. Yeah, this would be a pretty big one, especially this early in the season. Philippines typhoon. Here, give me a second. Let me look at this. Let me actually go here. Yeah, moving into, yeah, look at that. I've been so focused on this winter storm. I mean, I've been watching this, but let's go to satellite here so we can actually take a look at it. I'm covering the winter storm right now, but we can take a look at this. Let's see. We need... Oh my gosh, come on. Why is this still on composite reflectivity down here? 1 second, guys. Let's go to satellite. Let's go to clean. All right, well, it's not letting us look at it. So what I'll do is actually, I'll show you really quickly on Tropical Tidbits. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's go back here. Put our winter weather. This is where our snow is right now. Detroit's probably starting to get some actual good snow falling. Chicago, once again, just real quick, Chicago is very close to seeing heavy bands of snow move in. There you go. Big, heavy band of snow is about to move into Chicago. Let me pull up Tropical Tidbits really quickly so I can show you guys this. We'll go to current storms. Here's our system. Eye's not looking very impressive, but it's a strong storm moving into the Philippines. Up there to the north of Manila. If we go back here, let's look at our hurricane models. Hurricane models think it'll remain pretty strong. Hopefully avoid a secondary landfall. But there it is right there. What are we looking at right now? 945 millibar central pressure, 100 knot winds. What do we got? 120 mile, 100 knot, 2 miles. Yeah, 115 mile per hour winds. Let's go back over here. 150 mile per hour wind. So this is about a Cat 3, weak Cat 3, strong Cat 2. Storm, yeah, moving in northern Philippines. There it is. Eye structure isn't that great, which is somewhat good, but that looks like a pretty decent wind field. What do you think Nebraska will get a snowstorm? There's an opportunity here in late November. If we were to take a look at, like, I mean, if I pull up European, our latest European, let's go into the 12Z, and let's just push back out to U.S. There's a little bit of an opportunity here for Nebraska right here around the 20th, 21st, and then another really good opportunity for Nebraska really right here, 23rd, 24th of November. If we were to look at the GFS, does the GFS see something similar? GFS is kind of, look at this. This could be another big snow for Chicago potentially. But the GFS is giving us a little bit of potential for Nebraska snowstorm as we get out towards the 20th, 21st as well. So end of the second week into the third week of November, that looks like an opportunity for Nebraska. Maybe another one, 24th, 25th. The GFS, the 20th to the 26th, the GFS and Euro see an opportunity for Nebraska snowstorm, including Omaha. So something to watch. Canton, North Carolina. Canton, North Carolina. So you guys are up there just to the west of Asheville. It kind of matters here because the elevation changed. But, yeah, just to the west of Asheville. So your guys' expected totals between 1 to 2 inches. Or, sorry, your guys' expected totals about maybe a dusting to half an inch, and your high end could be about 1 to 2 inches. Canton, North Carolina. Oh, man, it's been a long morning for me. Here's your expected totals, guys. I know a lot of people are asking questions. You know where you are on this map. If you're in that the lightest of blue, we're talking about a dusting. If you're in this blue right here, a little bit darker, we're talking about 1 to 2 inches. Once you get up towards the darkest blue, we're talking about 3 to 5 inches. If you're in that yellow, this is the expected total. If you're in that yellow, we're talking about 6 to 9 inches. And then once you get into the orange, we're talking about a foot plus, like up here in Chicago. Now, here's our high-end totals. This is the high-end expectations from the National Weather Service. And again, you can look at that. I mean, this right here, we're talking about high-end totals, 2 feet up here, potentially a foot out in this region, a foot out in this region, a foot out in this region, a foot through a higher elevation of West Virginia. And then we're talking about high-end totals 3 to 6 inches through a good portion of Ohio. I can't talk. Indiana, Eastern Kentucky. So that's the high end. That's if you get super lucky. I mean, the high-end total through Pittsburgh, they even have Pittsburgh with the opportunity of getting 4 to 5 inches of snow. Again, that's high end. Upstate New York, the high end really doesn't get down into Albany. But this is all 6 inches plus up here if you do get a little bit lucky with the snow banding. Snow totals for Richmond, Virginia this year. What am I expecting? I think I'd be surprised to not see Richmond at least hit their snow averages, which would be they've been, I mean, I think Richmond actually got a little bit of snow last year. No, Richmond struggled last year too. I think Richmond will probably see average to a little bit above average, especially if we get, again, I think a nor'easter is going to bring snow out east towards the coast. Any chances of snow on Tuesday as well? There'll be most of this stuff's going to be moved out by Tuesday. Let's go back to our HRRR. Most of this stuff's going to be moved out by Tuesday. Let's go down to the Ohio Valley. 12Z. Here's as we get into Monday, Tuesday. A lot of this snow's kind of out of there. Let's go to the Euro. Yeah, I mean, as we push through Tuesday, a lot of the snow's kind of getting out of there. I appreciate everyone being in here. I do gotta get off. I'll try to stream again a little bit later today. Again, I post videos. I post content every single morning talking about forecasts, updates, severe weather, snow, hurricanes, all the good stuff. So if you like that type of stuff, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff. I got a weather Discord. It's in the link in my description and all my YouTube videos. Awesome weather Discord. Lots of weather enthusiasts. Lots of good information that's updated every single day. Thank you guys for being in here, engaging. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for just helping my algorithm. You guys are awesome. I love doing this, and I'm glad you guys can be a part of it. I'll try to get on live a little bit later, but I have my updates on video. I'll also be posting on Climate Corner HQ, my ex. I'll be posting on here updates during the day. So if you want to follow me in there, I'll be posting updates as I see things happening and in the Discord. All right. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. Have a great Sunday. Watch some football if you like it. Everyone have a great day. Thanks, mods. Peace.